Last session of Reggae University. It was the 15th edition of Reggae University at this year's Rototom Sunsplash. Please welcome our special guest, Anthony B. Yes, welcome, Anthony B.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, and thanks for coming out. Thanks to everyone who is here. Blessed. Give thanks. One love.
Before we delve into the music and the life of Anthony B, let me say just a few words, even though you know the man well. Anthony B is one of the most successful reggae artists. He's touring like nobody else, I think. Keys Blair, better known as Anthony B, is probably the hardest touring reggae act worldwide. The energy he brings on stage and his entertainer qualities are unmatched. His career spans over 30 years, and according to Discogs, he released over 40 albums, 1,000 singles, and is featured on 100 albums. Incredible. Throughout his career, he has always been courageous in telling the truth. He has been steadfast on his mission as an advocate for the poor, needy, and oppressed. His signature slang, yaga yaga yo, is known by everybody worldwide that even has the slightest idea of what reggae music sounds like. This artist has still so many things to say. Welcome the real revolutionary, the original fireman, Anthony B.
Holy man. Give thanks, Rastafari love. Blessed, 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 blessed.
Just to make sure nobody forget, the team is Pierre Tosi on the, from your side it's the left, radio host from Bologna, Italy. Next to him, David Katz, author of the Lee Perry biography, People Funny Boy, writer of Rhythm Magazine and various other outlets, music outlets. This is Alan Köhlings, I'm Pete Lilly. We are both editors and publishers of Rhythm Magazine. Anthony, we want to start by playing some tunes and just see what you have to say, what comes to your mind, and then we just take the conversation from there.
Give thanks.
I will start with a tune. I didn't find it anywhere to download, so I have to play the YouTube. I hope the Wi-Fi is good enough here.
Children ball for hungry night and day. Not a confusion, still the race goes on. The living is hard. Them hungry poor people like fraud. Many times. The living is hard. Them hungry poor people like fraud. What you know? To inflation rise cost a living get high. Mama fish up with her two big eyes. Not even one tin of milk she coulda buy. Yes, she have to run and cry. Yes, it is hard. Them hungry poor people like fraud. Tell them the living is hard. Come in Bantam, come tell them quite hard.
So, Anthony B, what comes to mind? It's not your most successful song, but...
Well, this is my first 45 release. So I would say it's my first successful song. Because it's the first time I hear myself on a record. It's the first time going to studio, recording a song and look and see it release. And if you realize, my name was not Anthony B yet.
You said Anthony B.
Yeah, but if you listen what the singer say, the singer say, come in Bantan. You understand? Because at that time, I was called Anthony Bantan. Yes, because everybody know me like Buju was the big artist and I was like the little artist. You understand? Going everywhere. I would be the one go to shop and go to the one to, you understand? So I would be like the young one. So if Buju come to Rototom Sunsplash now, I would be the one make sure everything all right and the artist is all right. You understand? So at that time, I was a young artist in the background coming up. So everybody just used to call me Anthony Bantan. You understand? Even though my name was Anthony B, but this is how Jamaica is. If we see you with Shabba, we say, oh, a Shabba virgin, that you know, your name, young Shabba. So this is how Jamaica is always like that. But so even the singer, Lico Devan, so, and he is the artist that let me know Richard Bell from Star Trail. So Little Devon is the one that introduced me to Richard Bello.
Okay,
And
okay.
this is how I become a part of the Star Trail camp.
Yeah, we come into that a bit later. I would still like to go a step back even before this tune. You were born and raised in Clarkstown in Trelawney. Can you take us back to your childhood day and share like what it was like to grow up in, you know, in the country in Jamaica?
Well, growing up in Clarkstown, Trelawney at that time, all the jobs was only two places, on the farm or on the sugar estate. So we got a sugar estate called Langpan Sugar Estate. You might hear about that famous Drankrobati rum from Jamaica, Kukulu Kulu rum. So that's where it is from. It's from Trelawney. So my grandmama, she worked with the estate. So she weed like canes. So when the cane grow, she get the jobs. They go to clean out the cane. So this is my first job because I would bring my friends from school, you understand, to go help my grandmother to, you understand. And then at that time as kids, you could take a cane and go with a cane. So it was just fun for us. But then my grandmother would explain how great what I've done for her, because she'd say to me, because my friends help her, she get bigger pay. So the more, because she get paid like the rows of cane that she clean. So if she clean 2 rows for the week, she get paid for 2 rows. But me and my friends would clean like 3-4 rows for the day. So that was my first job. And the second job was finding a spot in what we call ground. So we wouldn't call it farm, we say ground. Me have my ground, you have your ground, because we are young, it's a big elder people do farming, but we have a ground. So I would got a spot, you have a spot, so I plant my own little stuff there. And so farming, and that's the thing I know growing up. So looking at this now, going to school, as a young youth, you look like, whoa, you want a shoes and your mom can't really buy a shoes. So you ask her for a shoes and she will get you 1 shoes, but that shoes, you have to wear it to school. When you come from school, you have to take it off. So you spend 95% of your time bare feet. You can only wear that shoes when it's school time or when you're going out. So growing up as a young youth now, you're realizing if I go ask my parents for stuff, it's like pressure because they can't really afford it. So you realize how poor you are at that time. So you say, okay, I need something else. How can I help my family? How can I understand? So going to school, you know, after school in the breaks time, you would beat drums and DJ, and so all your friends around you tell you, yo, you're a bad artist, man. Yo, you must go do music. But living in Trelawney, doing music, that sound like traveling to the moon. So the first thing in your head is like, all the studios that create music are in Kingston. All the producers are in Kingston. No one who is in the music industry is in Trelawney at that time. So the first time we get to meet an entertainer was Liquor John. Because Liquor John used to come to Clarkstown because his mother is from Trelawney. Sky Juice, the selector from Metro Media. So these are the first 2 famous Trelawney person in the music, until I grew up and learned that Millie Small was from Trelawney. But I didn't know that growing up as a youth. So for us, the only 2 persons we could associate with music in Trelawney for years was Liquor John. You understand? Kick out your foot and show your clocks, booty. Show a crowd of people say you're trash and ready, you know. So that's Liquor John music. And then we have Sky Juice from Metro Media, where Big Belly Sky Juice at Rolling Belly and things. So these were the most 2 famous. So one day I get to meet Liquor John, and I say to him, yo, I can DJ. And he said to me, let me hear you. So I DJ. And the first thing he said to me, you have to come to Kingston. Understand? So I know then and there that being an artist in Trelawney is not going to manifest. But they got what they call a Red Stripe Bear road show. So there was this jockey play on the radio. His name is Bagger Brown. Yeah, rest him soul, R.I.P. Bagger Brown passed away now. But Bagger Brown has also been one of our legendary MC. If you look back at those Reggae Sunsplash and Stings and most of those Jamaica concerts, that the Bagger Brown would be like, you understand? So we enter that competition, 10 artists, and I end up as the winner. So Bagger Brown say to me, man, you're a talented youth, but you're not going to make it in this part of the community. So growing up now in your head, all in your head now is, oh, I can do music. Everybody say I can do music, but I have to leave Kingston. So how am I going to get to Kingston? I can't say to my family, I want to do music. I'm going to go to Kingston. Because for them, music, that's a dream, man. Wake up from your dream. So my mom would say, go learn a trade. You understand? Like, go learn to do mechanics, engineer. Go learn something tangible. That's what they would say. You understand? That you can, suppose you don't make it in music. What if you never make it? You're going to suffer. So for me now, I realize, okay, the encouragement is not going to come from my family. But then all your friends, yo, you're bad, man. So one thing in my mind then and there, I have to run away. Understand? So it's not something I'm advising any young kids to do. I'm not saying to you, run away, leave your home. It's not easy. But I'm just telling you at that time, that's the only mindset that come to me, you know, and looking at my mama, so I start to say to myself, well, running away is not just for me. I'm going to run away to help my family. So I think that motivate. So I run away to Kingston, went to an auntie home, and my auntie asked me what I'm doing in Kingston. Tell her, okay, I want to do music. She said, that's not going to work. I can't stay by her. So I end up with an uncle. The uncle said, well, if you're going to stay, you have to learn a trade. So then I start to learn a trade with him. So I would go to the studio like in the evening, but you can't stay out late because then 9 o'clock you get locked out. Understand? You got nowhere to sleep. So I learn a trade with him and keep on learning this trade till I'm still trying to do music in Kingston. But then I realize again that the only way forward is to run away from my uncle. So I leave, go among some friends, and this is where the music adventure really starts. Understand? Yeah.
I don't know if I remember it right, but I think you tell us once that you even walked from Trelawney to Kingston.
This is how I reached to Kingston. So.
Crazy. I mean,
when I get my first 2 child, I drove back to Trelawney, and I say, I'm gonna show you. I say to them, I'm gonna show you how Daddy get to Kingston, and they cry. They say so. Yes, and so it's like. It's a terrible journey because the part of the journey that stands out to me the most is there's a part called Linstead. So if you come to Jamaica, there's a part called Linstead. When in Linstead, they got like the orange farmers and they sell there. When I reach to that part, it's like 1:30 a.m. in the morning. So it's like a man say to me, yo, where you going? I say, Kingston. He said, no. Don't go on the road. The river road is dangerous, man. So he said to me, stay here with us. Understand? Because they're going to load. So those guys were bleaching to go on the market truck. So they put their stuff. So I stayed them till day break out, and then I take the road again. So I really walk from Trelawney to Kingston. This is how I get there.
Yeah, that really shows the determination of the man.
Yeah, I had 2 quick questions for you about what you've been explaining to us here. The first is, what was the trade that you were learning? And the other question has to do with the DJ style that you developed. We know it's a unique style, but you must have had some inspirations that you were drawing from.
Well, my trade was carpentry. So I learned to make tables, chair, furniture, house furniture. So, and Peter Touch was the artist that really drew me into music. I got a Rasta man who is my neighbor. So he used to play Peter Touch a lot. So sitting in the backyard, you're listening to Peter Touch music, and Peter Touch to me first sound like an angel. It didn't sound like an artist. Sound like somebody like, if my mama say, go take up the cup of water, I might resist. But if Peter Touch say, take up the cup of water, so this is how it is. This is how his voice was to me. Sound commanding, convincing, like, you understand? So it sound like he wasn't even a Jamaican. understand? I was wondering, like, whoa, this man sound like an angel, just listening to his words and his music. And so that's where my inspiration really come from, that if I'm going to do music, I would like to impact somebody else like how Peter Touch has impacted me. Yeah.
Thank you.
Before we talk about your time in Kingston, I would still talk about two things. One is Revival Church, where I think you went to as a child, and I can imagine that music played a big role there too already. And like Revival, they have this like heavy rhythms and chanting and things.
My grandmother was a heavy revivalist. Understand? Revivalist is the church in Jamaica where we would sing till 3 a.m. in the morning. Understand? So, and a lot of clapping, a lot of dancing. And we as child, that's what make we love the church. Understand? It wasn't more about the gospel or the teaching. It was more entertaining than every other church. You understand? When you go to other church, you have to sit down, listen to the pastor preach. When you go to a revival church, the pastor is on fire. And you understand? So it's like everything is, so as a child for you, it's entertaining. You understand? So I think that early revivalist energy from my grandmother is also a big contributor to the soul. And yeah, that one, yes.
The other thing I want to ask you about is Shaggy High Power.
Shaggy, yeah, man. So Shaggy High Power now was the only sound system. It was in a district in Chilani called Barnstable. So Shaggy had a son called Winston Lee. So Winston Lee was like 5 years older than us. But he would be the, what you say now, the community leader of young youths. Because his father had the big shop, his father has the sound, and he's a great selector. You understand? So whenever there is a selecting competition, he would win. So all of us as youth rally around him. So when I tell him I want to DJ now, he would be the one who put out a box, give us rhythm, play a different rhythm, and we DJ. So you say, no, you're flat, or you're not right the rhythm, or, you understand? So at that time, we don't even understand what he's saying. But he was more musically, because his father played instrument, Shaggy played instrument, he got keyboards. So it's like a musical family. They are Indian, understand? So his grandfather was from India. So they come to say, you know, they're like a middle class in the community where I live. You understand? So being in Chilani, he got the lawn. That's where we go to dance. So that's where we go to movie. So in Shaggy place, because he bring what you call a projector. Understand? And that's where we would go to pay 50 cents and watch movie. And understand? And then next night we go there for dance. And he used to do, what you say, like, wholesaling stuff. So he was like the hot spot in the community. So this is where we would go and DJ. And
were your lyrics the way we know them now, like conscious lyrics, or did you do whatever was popular at the time and what the kids wanted to?
You would make some stuff for yourself, but then 90% of the time, the people who is there, they want you to sing over some. Yo, give me a Ninja Man song. Yo, give me a Papa San song. Or, you understand? So this is how it was. Because we are youths, you know. So you know you're a DJ, man. Of course. But then you try to make up your own little stuff. And when they tell you to start sing other songs now, it gives you even insights. Because you start to learn that, okay, these songs have chorus. These songs have melody. And you just making up some story, but you don't really have no melody and no chorus. So you just start to learn from singing all these other songs. You understand? So it was a good training, you know? Yeah.
Okay, then we listen to our next tune. I think might be your second tune that ever came out. And it kind of shows that you surely did learn your trade.
Yeah.
Emperor Selassie, Jaja is the only way. Nobody want to plant the can. Everybody want to read the band. Who you are go blame it on when it's a next man? You are the pen pan. Well, you wrong. Nobody want to plant the can. Everybody want to read the band. Happy sing your own a song, can't compete with Kelly's John. I was looking a start, just a little ease off. No one would help me push that old and can't. Them a laugh, never take me serious. So many goals and tasks, as patrols I pass every day. My Lord.
Give thanks, you know.
Still
Big
a
up.
big tune, still a big tune. That was your first release, I think, with Richard Bello
Star Trek.
from Star Trek Records.
Yeah. That's where the real career started, because now we start to get to record in a manner like, so if I go home and come up with an idea, I could go to Richard Bell and say, oh, I listened to this idea, and he said, okay, let's do it this way, and by tomorrow he would say, come listen to this beat. So this is production. Understand? So it's different from you just go to a studio sometime and somebody play a beat and you have to try to fit everything that you got on that beat. And they say, let me hear something. And, oh, I don't like that one. Come again. With Richard Bell now, we start to do production. So I could go home, write a song. Nobody want to come and say, listen to this. And he say, okay, all right, give me 2 days. Come back Monday and call. Yo, where you do? Come check me. Reach a studio, you hear a beat. Doom, doom, doom. You say, all right, listen to this. And so this is how, you understand? But this rhythm wasn't originally built for my song. This rhythm was built for Garnet Silk. Richard Bell was working on a Garnet Silk album. Garnet had a song called Love is not a piece of paper. Love is a treasure, it's a gift from God. So we done Garnet singing the song, and so, you know, you're outside, you know, go inside because you don't want to disturb the artist. But you're outside and you listen to the beat and I'll be like, whoa, this bad, you know. But then at the moment, you don't know if it's a rhythm that Bobo is going to put more artists on, or it's just a rhythm that he's going to make for Garnet Silk. So you wait and Garnet done record, and when Garnet done record now, it's like a different day. He was playing it, and I say to him, you like this rhythm, you know? And him say, yeah, we hear what you have, man. So when we start to sing, him say, all right, record. So like 2 days after that, Sizzla called me and say, yo, where you do? Me say, me the studio, and I say, me I come check to me have a bad song, you know. So he didn't come, I hear the rhythm, me say, listen to this rhythm. But he was singing Black Woman and Child and the rhythm. And I say, yo, it no fit, it no work, you know, dada. And him say, all right, tomorrow may I come back. And he come back tomorrow and come sing, I've been here and connect. So I say to him, say, yo, I was around Bobby Digital yesterday. And I hear Bobby Digital making a rhythm for Shabba. Make we go check him tomorrow. So we go check Bobby. So me I say, Bobby, the DJ have a bad tune. It sound like Bobby said, nah, Shabba alone, I put the rhythm and so then Sizzla start, and so this is how these two rhythm, because one was making for Shabba album, one was making for Garnet album. So it's like we just hijack the rhythm them then, but we song was such a tremendous song. It helped to bring the rhythm to another level. You understand? So this is how this song come on. The message in this song is that when you're out there trying, many times you don't get no helping hand. But then whenever you make it, some of those same people would come back and talk bad about you and don't even remember that it was yesterday you were asking just for help. That's a message. I was looking at start, just a little ease off. No one would help me push this whole handcart, because in Chilani, where I grow, this was also one of my hustling. So you go to the market, he come to the market and buy product. I ask him, how far you live? He say, I live 10 miles from here. I pay you $50, I put all the product on the cart, and I push the cart with the product to his home, and I come back to the market, find the next person. So this is what we used to call push cart. It is not just, you might see it in the Jamaican bobsled movie, but that's a different scenario of it. That's the race cart part. But on the ground in Jamaica, it is a hustling. You understand? So we as youth, instead of go steal somebody something and go. So we would have two hustling after school. One was construction. So if you're making a building, you would want to mix what we call mix mortar. So would be the underwork. Sometimes they say, okay, you come and cook the food on the site, we pay you. So all the workers work and I do the cooking and washing up the materials and the barrels and the shop. So this used to be, understand? And that's why I say I was looking at just a little ease off. No one will let me push this whole card because I also try to put back a little bit of your past life in the song. Yeah.
Coming back to Ray Tiban, when I look at the video, your nutties were really sharp. So maybe you can share with us how Rasta became a part of your life and who kind of, influenced you, teach you about it, and
well, I'm a big advocate of Marcus Garvey philosophy. So growing up, I read a lot of Marcus Garvey. I read a lot about Kuma Nkrumah, Jomo Kenyatta. I read a lot about the struggle. You understand? And coming into Kingston, doing music now, I realize most of my journey into everything that I'm doing, there's a Rasta man who is a part of it. You understand? The man who helped put me out in the music is a Rasta man. The first man who gave me an opportunity say, here's a place, stay there, and whenever you start making money, is a Rasta man. So I'm saying to myself, everybody in my life who is doing something good for me is a Rasta man. Then I meet a Rasta man in Kingston, and this was the only man I could have checked and say, oh, I'm hungry, I got no food, and you understand? Bun a little spliff, man, and here's some food, and don't stop the way you're doing. Don't lose it, don't go take out. So even help, encouragement, this is where it's coming from for me. So I remember I say to Little Devon when I trim my hair, shine like this. And I say, this is it, Rastafari. This is the life, this is me, this is everything that I am, this is my being, So then I start to study more about the philosophy. So it didn't start out first for me as a philosophy. It started out first just living in a rough time and realize the only angel I know is a Rasta. Understand? So that's my testimony. If I should say there's an angel, Rasta man is my angel. Understand? So this is how I become a Rasta man today.
And Anthony, Bello was actually, the first Bobo Dread ever met. So did he kind of influence you, trod in the Bobo Ashanti path, or how did that part of your journey come about?
Yeah, Bobo was a big influence because we used to just see Bobo Ashanti growing up. So you would see them selling the broom, you would see them, and then when we were young, Lieutenant Stitchy said the Bobo dreadlocks with the broom. So we're growing up seeing the Bobo dreadlocks, but now I get to know Star Trail and I get to know the livity, get to be a part of the movements, observing it. Because when I meet Bobo, I'm not a Rasta. You understand? So I didn't meet him just, and I was observing, learning while around him, and I realized this is the most educated person I meet. You understand? I know auntie, I got uncle, I got people who go to university, have all kind of degree, but his levels of intelligence, I say I want to know more about this teaching. So he take me to meet Emmanuel. And when I go to meet Emmanuel now at Bobo Hill, then it changed everything. You understand? So learning from Emmanuel himself, learning from Bobo himself, observing the livity, and looking through the different houses, I say, well, I fit in here. You understand? I see more the priest livity of Rastafari because it's within that livity. You understand? It's called preservation of life. Love. God is love. Let us all love. The man of right is God in flesh. The man of wrong is the devil. Do good, good follow you. Do unto others as you would like them do unto you. I am my brother's keeper. Yes. So, this is the teaching that bring me into the Bobo Ashanti movements. Rastafari, I love.
Okay, let us listen to another song. It might, you have to tell us, even be a reside of you prodding the Bobo path.
Black people don't get weary. Them take off the shackles and chains and set them free with. But we still on a mental slavery. Wanna sing with the Star Trail posse, my lord. Fire pan rum, people ball on them scissors and comb. Black people want go home. On Mount Zion and the righteous throne. You go yo, fire pan rum. People ball on them scissors and comb. Black people want go home. On Mount Zion and the righteous throne. Well, this is my question to Issa and the one Matalan.
I guess that's the tune that earned you the title, Mr. Controversial.
That's the breakout song, you know. Well, this song, growing up before my time in reggae music, all we hear about was Mr. Jacket and Mr. Tie. So who is Mr. Jacket? And who is Mr. Tie? It can't be you going to work because you dressed up and look nice. You are the oppressor. So this is, to me, in my mind, growing up in the music, all we hear about when we hear about Mr. Oppressor is Mr. Jacket and Mr. Tie. So you are my friend now, and you get a good work in your jacket or your tie. You are oppressor. So for me, we need to identify the root of the problem. So studying history, colonialization and imperialization is dead to humanity. You understand? It's dead to equality. It's dead to love. It's dead to self-govern. It's dead to freedom. So if we're going to attack something from the root, this is what I would attack. So for me, Rome create what we call colonialization. Understand? That's your land, this is my land. But your land now belongs to me. You're a subject of me. What I say, go in your land. What you say, don't go in my land. That's not equality. So this is how I say the government of Jamaica are like the Roman system. They are not democratical. They are dictator. That's why I sing a song called Fire Upon Rome. And I didn't want to sing it and say Mr. Jacket and Mr. Tie. So I want to identify with the Prime Minister and the opposition leader, the political leader who control the system. Because even if you are not a part of the political party, their decision affect your life also. You're in Jamaica, you're not a politician, but the Prime Minister say all airports are closed. You can't fly out. So it affects you, even though it wasn't your decision or you didn't support any of these parties. So you can't ignore something that affect your life. And politics affect our life in Jamaica. Look at marijuana. Many of us, even me, for years, I couldn't get visa to go many countries because of marijuana. You understand? Oh, you get arrested for marijuana a long time. Oh, I refuse your visa. No. So imagine the amount of talented youths over the years in Jamaica who was suppressed because he was arrested to smoke marijuana one time. So what he become? Distress, hopeless. So this is how we start to have a lot of gangster life because there's no other alternative. Understand? And this is why we're saying that who is to be blamed for the political backlash or the system in Jamaica? Look at, when I sing Fire Upon Rome, it's 1996. Now I see the European Union of the Jamaican government in court in London, in England, for education fund. We never know Jamaica received $4.5 billion to build school and put computer in school, then where is the computer? Where is the school? But where is the money? You understand what I'm trying to say? So, if it is an artist like me now have to come and sing another song about this. Because, you understand? So it's like certain things we push aside. We want to solve the problem, but we ignore the root of the problem. Like you say in Jamaica, we got a lot of crime and the government trying to solve crime and they fly to every country and try to borrow money to solve crime. But if you leave a cat at home with no feed, no water, when you come back home, everything in your house is torn up. Because the cat survival instinct come in. So it is not nothing to do with Jamaican. It has to do with human living organism. Once they are in desperate needs, they're going to find solution to survive. And that's what is going on in Jamaica. Jamaica is in such a desperate state. You understand that 90% of the youths now in Jamaica, we growing up, you couldn't tell us that being a thief was something to be proud of. That's embarrassment. No, it is normal. You hear they sing about it in the dance hall now. Rob you, shot you. You hear it, it's normal. And yay, this is... So I was watching YouTube, as I say to my brethren, and you can see where some gunman come shoot another youth, and the kids was skipping. They were there, and it's normal. So to see this, where somebody shoots somebody, and a child never run away. He never scared and run. He just still skipping. This is dangerous. You understand? We can't ignore this. And how much of us is talking about that? And that's why even when I say to my reggae people, when you come to our island, we have to let the people on the bottom know that someone care too. Because this is also can become a problem. If all they see is that when the reggae people come to Jamaica, it's in the uptown community, then who really care about us? So I am from that community. So I'm saying to all of you, they are watching. It can't just be one-sided. We don't know about racism in Jamaica. We never grew up being racist. No Jamaican is racist. We don't know about white. Oh, I'm a white person. This is Jamaica. What we know about is classism. We know about classism. Upper class, lower class. That line, like the Berlin Wall, can't cross. You understand? I got 5 degrees, but I'm from Tivoli Garden. You got no degree, but you're from Cherry Garden. Who is going to get the job? Cherry Garden. So it is not qualification. You understand now? So this is the reality of what we grew up in. We didn't grow up with a system where, oh, white hating black and black hating white and hating Chinese. We don't have no religious dogma or stigma in our country like that. What we know about is rich, poor, have not. And if you're too black, as Peter Todd said, back. That's the reality. It sounds a way saying it, but it's the reality. I watched a panel take place on IRA FM. I was in New York City. And this panel was Shaggy, Rihanna, and everybody. And they're talking about the condition of Jamaican music. Did you know no Jamaican artist can register iTunes in Jamaica? Did you know no Jamaican artist can register Spotify in Jamaica? Nobody talk about this? Did you know every Jamaican artist need a third party to be registered? Because you have to be registered from a first world country.
Have to do with credit cards, or why is that?
If I land in Jamaica now, my Spotify say, don't work in this region, not available. But there's a million panel on how we're gonna help reggae music, but no one talk about this. So how we gonna help reggae music when reggae artists can't even sing a song and upload it. So that is the state of the illusion that's going on in reggae music. And that's why a person like me sometimes sit and be silent, because as Gregory says, sometimes we saw like we're one man against the world. Like the collective part of it, no one care about. We want to be... Reggae is not K-pop. Let's get that clear. We don't look at people suffering, ignore it, and sing about dancing. That's not reggae. Reggae is the voice of the people. It is the voice of the downtrodden, the voice of the voiceless. That's what reggae music is.
Anthony B., I have a couple of quick questions about Fire Upon Rome. I'm Italian, but I'm not from Rome. But very soon I saw you singing Fire Upon Rome in front of a huge crowd. The first question is it true you did cause a sensation by performing Fire Upon Rome at Sting?
Yes.
Live? It was 95 or 96. So
yeah, 95. The song was banned. It couldn't play it.
But the record was already on the streets when you perform at the Sting.
If I wasn't performing this song, no one would know about it, because the radio couldn't play it, the sound system couldn't play it, because the government put a ban on it, and if you play this song, you can be persecuted. So it's because of the braveness. You understand? I go out and sing it for the people, no matter where. I sing it in front of the politician. So I was marked for that. Everybody say, oh, you're going to die. By 97, you're dead. You understand? But that braveness, and as I say, we have to stand up for something. And Marcus Garvey said, if we don't stand up for something, we fall for anything. So if today is the day that we have to go out, as Jimmy Cliff say, I want to go out on my feet. You understand? Mm-hmm. Yes, not as a slave bending on my knees. So I prefer go out with my feet and my heads in the cloud. And that's the art and the mindset why I think a song like Fire Upon Rome was delivered to a mind like me to sing.
And the other question is about how a destiny for an artist can be, because as far as I remember, you were a newcomer and you had 2 songs recorded over the same rhythm, and both they were printed on 7-inch. Were you aware at that time that one song was bound to glory and the other one was more ordinary? So one was very different to the other one on the same rhythm?
Yeah. One was different because one was Row, Mr. Fisherman Row. So you realize it's a different message. So they would like that one and listen to that one. But Fire Upon Rome is a different message. So for them, Fire Upon Rome was offensive. But Row, Mr. Fisherman Row, that's a nice song. So why trouble that? But Fire Upon Rome, and the second song that they stopped, there's another song that I sang after Fire Upon Rome that they ban also. Because I do a song saying, now vote again. You understand? And they're saying, I don't have the rights to tell people not to vote. But what are you voting for? What I would like to beg my people, as my Jamaican people all over the world and in Jamaica, is let's take politics out of the religious mindset. Because to me, that's what politics is in Jamaica. It's a religion. It's not politics. It's not policies. It's not you saying something that appealing, uplifting. It is my mother was a PMP, my father was a Labourite, me a Labourite, me a PMP. So it doesn't matter if the leader doing wrong, I ain't voting for nobody else. And that's a detrimental place to be in. That means you won't create a change for yourself, because the only changes can come is through policy. And it's through people with good policy. And the people with the good policy, you won't give them a chance because they are not a part of this political narrative. So for me, that's religion. That's not politics. That's belief. That's a theology that you've been following, like a traditional religion. So I grew up. So you live in this community. There is no road. There is no infrastructure. But the people who run the community is the same people run the community for the last 50 years. But who is going to vote them out? So they don't have to build nothing. They don't have to do nothing, because the same result will come out in the end. I'm going to win. So I would like to beg my Jamaican people to start to get out of that mindset. Yes. Now vote again, Papa. Yes. That's it.
Thanks.
I still have a whole folder full of songs, but time is kind of running, and I know the people want to ask some questions to you too. So before we open it up to the audience, I would like to ask you about where you live. I know you left Jamaica some years ago. You lived in Miami, I think Poland, Austria.
Yeah,
Maybe you tell us why you left Jamaica and what made you move wherever you moved.
I want to be a world citizen. So I see myself as a part of the human family. You understand? Not just as a Jamaican family. We were taken to Jamaica not by choices of our own makings. So when I choose to leave, it's not like I say I'm not going back. But being a world citizen, I see myself as a part of everybody here, every individual here. I see humanity I see earth as the garden of the Most High. And I see us all as different shades of flowers in this beautiful garden. Because just look at a man making a garden for himself. If one flower is in that garden, it's boring. Ain't nice. Ain't no beautiful garden with one flowers. So why is that boring to me and you, and it would not be boring to the Creator? You understand? He have a sense of humor too. He create you in himself, in his image, just like you. So for me, this is how the Creator create the world. He create a garden with all beautiful different shades of flowers. And if you think it's lie, none of us have a different function. We have a different shade, but not a different function. None of us have a different needs. All of us have the same needs. When I'm cold, you're cold. If I'm hot, you're hot. It's not because I'm black, you're white, you're brown. It's because we were made the same way, but different shades. Just like when we buy a home, we don't just buy one set of plates, all white. No, we put this because it is beautiful to see variety. Just like how there's rivers, hill, lakes, valley. He didn't just make a flat earth. How would it be just a flat earth? So this is how my mindset is. And I don't just want to see myself fighting just for Jamaica. I want to fight for the human family. You understand? Yes.
Okay, so I'm not going to play any more tunes. I want to give you the remaining time to ask questions to our special guest, Anthony B. Now, don't be shy.
Hold on, we're going to bring a microphone. Yeah. Yeah.
Hello? Okay. Big respect. Just one quick question. You already talked about Ray Deban and how it come up, but that's also a song where you have two on the same rhythm, right? It's a rhythm where you have two songs on the same rhythm. The other one, Save Me, I personally almost like it even more, even if I love Ray Deban. So I would like to know why you have two songs on this rhythm and why one is talking about Haile Selassie, why the other one about your...
Okay. Well, you see, just like remember I told you about the rhythm, it was not created for me, it was created for Garnet. Understand? So when I like the rhythm, after I record Ray the Band, I was just there. Save Me was like a demo something. Yes. So it's like I'm saying maybe another artist could sing this song. Understand? But then Bobo be like, no. So is Bobo put it out because I didn't want to even record it over. And him said, no, I'm not touch it. This is, you don't understand. Here's some now, and see it. This is, so I have to call him and tell him, Bobo, because that's what he said to me. Years from now, you're going to love it. And see you come and say it's one of your favorite. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, man. Thank you. And big up to Richard Bell, you know. Yeah.
Yes, big up yourself, Anthony B.
Give
I play your
thanks.
tunes, no,
Give
I'm a
thanks.
radio presenter. I wanted to know if there's anybody that you haven't collaborated with, who would that be and why?
Well, let me think on it. I don't know, you know. I'm open. I'm in music. I never sit down yet and say, you know, I want to do a song with Jenkaman. No, it's just me and Jenkaman meet in Cell Block studio in Jamaica. He was there recording his album. Voop, me drive come to the studio. Woke up in there. Whoa, what go on, Jenkaman, you there Jamaica? Yo, me there, man. Anthony, you know me, I work for my album.
See.
Wait. I go into the studio. He got a track already, which he already recorded. So he got
Okay.
a verse. And me like the song. And this is how me and Jenkaman get the record.
Right.
Same thing me and Bojo Bantan. So I've never really yet. I just do a song with a singer called Dante Bowie. He's an R&B artist from America.
Okay.
The song is out right now. It's on the R&B Billboard chart. And it's just, this artist called me out of the blues. Anthony, I grew up listening to your music. I didn't even know an R&B artist listened to my music.
Yeah.
And I said, whoa, that's nice. And he sent me his music and I go listen to his music. And I say, yo, I like your music. And he said, well, I'm working on my album. And I want to work on a song with you. I say, all right, when you're ready, do your part, send it, and I do my part. So you write the song, record it, send it to me, and I listen to it. Me and him was on the phone, and me like, yo, this nice, man, wonderful. And this is how I record a song.
Right.
So I wouldn't say I'm not going to do a song with an R&B artist, and then 10 years down the line, it happened.
Yeah.
So I always say never,
100%.
you understand? And
Yeah.
this planet Earth, what is constant is change. And many things, sometimes we stand up and today, 10 years from now, you might find out it was ignorance why you stand on it that way.
Yeah.
You understand? And I am one of that human being who willing to say I'm sorry.
Yeah, man.
And I
I
never
love
know.
that.
You understand?
I love
Yeah.
that. Respect for that.
Yes, good afternoon.
Thank you very much.
First, I would like to thank Alan, Pete, David, and Pierre for keeping up the Reggae University for the last 6 days.
Thank you.
It was always very interesting and enlightening. And also, I want to big up the team in the back, the engineer, the cameraman, the lady with the microphone, and so on. Yeah, thanks. I have 2 questions regarding 2 songs. There's one song, Warm Back for Water Pumping, which is a German production. So how that song came about with Pioneer?
See,
See it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I went to Germany to do a show one night, and they tell me the promoters of the show is some young German kids who like capture a little community, understand, and they want to put together an event, but they can't afford to do the event, but they call for me, and so I get to meet one of the first members of Seed, and I say, well, I'm gonna do it for them, because sometimes things is bigger than money. So I went and go perform for them in the little community, and the vibes was nice. And they tell me they are a band, they're doing music, and so they say this is one of their favorite Anthony B songs. And I say, well, let's get it, I do it over with you. And they say, yeah, and I say, yeah. So this is how the song come about. I understand, I just like their vibes, like what they were doing, coming together as youths. They could be doing the gangster thing, but they are there fighting to do music, and their music they're trying to do is from Jamaica. So that was so tremendous to see that in Germany, and this is how the song come about. So big up Seed, and big up the team, big up the crew, big up everybody, yeah.
Yeah. And the next song now, Mr. Heartless, how that song came about, meaning was it a specific incident that created it, or was it, what, it's so hard shaking?
If you look at the video in the song was videoed in a real place. Everything you see in the video, it's not something I go and put together as act. It is the lifestyle. So I went to that place called Riverton City. And I went there one day just to look some weed to smoke. A man tell me, yo, a man have some strong, good weed. And when I went there, but while they're waiting on the weed, I was talking to a youth called Burro. And me observe and see some youth up on a garbage truck and 4 more up on a garbage truck. And the garbage truck go that way and the next one go that way. So me asked like, what's going on? Him said they're gonna empty the truck and take everything from the truck. So I went and looked myself. And it's tore my mind. And to know that, so he take me around the back of Rototom City and I realized it was a community. The people built a community in the dump in Jamaica. Many people driving on the highway don't even know that this exists. You understand? So for me now, I need to highlight this. And how cold this is. You understand? So the only word I could find is Mr. Heartless. This is heartless. This is cold. This is, you understand? This is people living in the dump, in the slum. No water, no light. Take everything from. So if you go to Rototom City, the dump should be like this, but it's flat as a table. Because everything you dump, they take and they sort out. If this is a broken buckle, they can take the piece of buckle they can take. They take the broken chairs, they take the old TV, and they take the good parts from the TV, and they get a next old TV, and they take the good parts from the old TV, and they make back a TV. So, this. So, started doing the song. I was in the studio, and I say, I need help with this song. It's too, understand? So, I got a guitar player that I call Favorite. We always co-write together. So I call him and I say, yo, let's come together. I tell him the whole incident and how we want to get it. And so we went to Benicàssim to work out, understand? Because Benicàssim play No Woman No Cry to me, which is one of the greatest guitar feelings ever in life. So this is what I say to him. I say, I need something rip through the soul. Something that when somebody hear the song, they must feel the pain I am feeling. So Benicàssim, Favor, and it's a 3-unit credits. That's how the song come about. So I say, after the song come out, I say to Star Trail, I need to film the whole scenery, what's going on. So the only thing I bring there was the girl, the little girl who is dancing ballet. She's from that community, and she's Jamaica's youngest ballet dancer. So look at the community, and look at the dancer. It's like it don't match. You understand? How she learned to dance ballet, but she's from a community in the dump. So I try to show the potential, what is there, and what's going on there. And give thanks for that song. Rototom City is now a community. The government built it over, they build good houses. Because that song becomes so highlighted in Jamaica that even many Jamaicans start to say, yo, I whispered that. That's a real place for you. So it becomes so politically insensitive for the politician that it make a change. So give thanks for the change, you know? Yeah.
I think we still have time for one more question.
It's a Rasta. Yes, Lion.
Yes, I am. Rasta.
Yes, Lion.
Greetings, man.
Rastafari.
My question is just a simple one, you know. It's about how do you think about the black people in Western, which is when we look about repatriation as a foundation of Mocha's Mosiah Garvey say. How do you think? Do you think maybe something which it will happen soon, or I don't know? I'm just asking.
Well, let I say, being an historian that study history a little bit, Marcus Garvey repatriation will happen. But as Marcus Garvey say, we first have to collectively make that mind change, that culture change. So let's look at the word democracy.
Rastafari.
Ptolemy in Egypt 6,000 years ago was the first man on the planet
Messiah.
to talk about democracy. But it is in the United States of America we hear a country called democracy. So sometimes you might put out an energy, as I say to my friends earlier. Energy never die. If I get an idea to write a song,
Yes,
and I pay attention to something else and don't capture that moment, what happens is that tomorrow morning I hear a next artist singing the same topic that came to me yesterday.
Yes, I
So energy never die, transcended. So that energy of repatriation will never die. It might not manifest in our generation, but it will manifest itself. You understand? The Greek was talking about democracy. The Greek, thousands of years ago, was talking about a democratic society. This time on the planet Earth is the first we got so much information that we can see countries becoming leaderless because the people are no longer interested in the stupidity of politics or in the trickery of their political leader. France, 10% of people vote for the president. That's 90% who is not interested. Italy, 15%. Jamaica, must be 5%. So the political leaders today don't have the support of the people. And this is what we have to wake up and realize, that the people are breaking away from the stupid ideology. And if we don't give them credit and start to let them see that, yes, you're doing what we want you to do, you're breaking away from the monopoly and the stupid ideology. You understand? Looking here, many different races of people. Few years, centuries ago, we used to hate each other. We couldn't even sit like this. Because, oh, you're Rasta, you're Jew, you're black, you're white, you're Muslim. Today, we can collectively sit and talk about our differences without becoming violently or kidnapping somebody else about it. So we are moving into a better place when you look at history. War on the planet Earth, this is the longest we never have a major world war on the planet Earth. If you studied history, come right down. This is the longest humanity tolerate each other so much. So we are going to a better place where the people, because I don't look at the government. The only system, as Rototom say, the only good system is a sound system.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I give thanks.
Rastafari.
Give thanks.
Okay, I think we are coming to a close. This was the last session for this year's Rototom. Thank you to everybody for coming, for making it possible. Without the audience, we wouldn't be able to do anything. And I also want to give thanks to our guests who really gave us some deep insights, like Anthony just did. It was a great week, I think, and I really appreciate it. I think David wants to say something too.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've got a big team to thank as well. We'd like to thank Roma and Lena, our two assistants who helped us with these sessions. We need to thank Hector, El Sonidor, the sound man, and his team, su equipo. We need to thank Julia Casado, our artistic coordinator. We need to thank Sabrina Trovant, our artistic director, the entire Rototom Sunsplash team. And we need to thank each and every one of you, because without you, we are nothing. And we look forward to seeing you all next year.
So come me pick a dance over do. Yeah, I feel big up on my branching and my sister in the club. Smoke up, drink up, greet and hug. Like Jonah Reed, we are shout one blood, Bob Marley, one